إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير السنن سنن محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد، فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. فقال سبحانه وتعالى في مكان آخر: وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إن الدين يسر ولن يشاد الدين أحد إلا غلبه فسددوا وقاربوا وأبشروا واستعينوا بالغدوة والروحة وشيء من الدلجة أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, topic of my khutbah today is importance of moderation in Islam. In Quran and sayings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in so many places there is a emphasizes that Islam is a moderate religion, a middle path. Giving the title of Muslims, Quran mentions in many parts of the Quran that وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. We have made you into an intermediary nation, a middle nation. This is the title of Muslim community. So Muslims should have moderation in everything they do, be it the ibadah or the relationship with the Muslims or non-Muslims, and their family affairs or business or trade or transactions or spending. Anything they have to follow moderation. And moderation is separately mentioned about every aspect. For example, Quran says about spending, about the believers, الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَنفَقُوا لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا وَلَمْ يَقْتُرُوا وَكَانَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ قَوَامًا. Believers are those, when they are spending, they are not extravagant, they are not overspending, and also they are not stingy, and they are staying in between two extremes. So this is the way Muslims spend. So like that in every aspect, Quran mentions in various occasions about various things, that in every aspect of life, Muslims should follow moderation. And also it is mentioned in the traditions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in various occasions. I have mentioned one hadith, which is a very beautiful hadith, which has 2-3 sentences. In order to explain to you in a better manner, let me break it into sentences and try to explain it. It is a very beautiful hadith. This hadith begins with the statement, Inna ad-deena yusr. This hadith is from Bukhari, from Babul Iman. And it says that this deen, religion, is a very simple religion. And its simplicity also mentioned in other occasions in Quran as well. For example, Quran says, وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. We have not kept you any hardship in your religion. If a person lives according to Islam, it is possible for him to live according to Islam in any part of the world. For any individuals passing through any kind of circumstances, whether he is a rich man or a poor man, whether he is a healthy man or a sick man, whether he is living in a western part of India or eastern part of western part of the world or eastern part of the world, or any places in the world, it is possible for him to follow Islam because its teachings are very simple, very practicable, and very much able to follow by every individual human being. And this is not the same case with any religion, for example, in the world. Take the list of major religions. For example, let me give you one example. Jainism, for example, is considered as an important religion in the world. And if you go make any airline booking, for example, go to the meals, there is one meal called Jain meal. So Jain is considered as one of the major religions in the world. And according to Jainism, if the senior priest is considered as Digambar Muni, he is considered as a very senior priest. So in order to become Digambar Muni, one has to shun his clothes. He should remain naked whole life. And he should not wear slippers. He cannot go to hospitals. Is it possible for every individual in every part of the world? Definitely not. Every country will not allow anyone to walk naked in any part of their country. So this is why Islam is not like that. Take any injunctions of Islam and any teachings of Islam, it is very simple to follow, and for everyone it is easy, and one can live as a Muslim in any part of the world, and one can be very successful in this life and in the life hereafter as well. Because Quran says that man amila salihan min dhakarin wa unsa wa huwa mu'minun falanuhyiyannahu hayatan tayyiba. If anyone is doing good deeds, male and female, and if they are believers, then Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala will grant them very good life in this world as well. So a believer, a good Muslim is successful in this world as well as in the life hereafter. So in this hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the beginning says, Inna ad-deena yusrun. This deen is very simple to follow. And its teachings are very simple. And again he continues and says, وَلَنْ يُشَادَّ الدِّينَ أَحَدٌ إِلَّا غَلَبَ. If anyone tries to bring extremism into religion, ultimately he is going to be defeated. There is no extremism in Islam. No extremism in thoughts, no extremism in actions, no extremism in its concepts of worship, no extremism in its concept of practical aspects of life like family affairs, doing business, looking for the halal means of income, and everything. It is simple, moderate, and gives you a middle path. There is no extremism. If anyone tried to bring any extremism in any aspect of the religion, then ultimately he will be defeated. And it is not possible for him to follow. And he is really bringing corruption into the teachings of Islam if he is teaching any aspects of extremism about any teachings of Islam. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ continues and gives a beautiful example and says, فَسَدِّدُوا وَقَارِبُوا وَأَبْشِرُوا. Saddidu means aim, right, means fulfill your responsibilities with a correct aim. Again, giving the explanation of this hadith, Bukhari is explained by many scholars, and one of the great scholars is Ibn al-Hajar al-Asqalani. He has written a book of explanation about Bukhari of 14 volumes. According to Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, he says, As-sadad huwa tawassut bil amal. Sadidu means, as-sadad means following moderation. Here again, sadad actually means aiming. You might have read aiming in while you go for sports. Maybe sometimes you bring toys for your children. And you can see that sometimes arrow or shooting, they will provide you a dartboard. And dartboard is of different colors, you might have seen. Or if you go to shooting range in 6th Ring Road for sports, they will also give you dartboard which is kept in front of you. In dartboard there are different colors. For example, the middle one, which is target where we have to focus, is of yellow color. And the next spear is red color. And the next spear is of blue color. So while shooting, you have to shoot at the yellow color. In the middle where you have to shoot. Exact aim you have to keep. But no one is perfect. For no one, unless he is an expert, it's not possible every time that he will shoot exactly to the yellow sphere, yellow circle. Sometimes when he shoots, it goes to the red sphere, which is red circle, which is next to it. And sometimes it will touch to the blue spheres or blue circles, which is next to it. But your aim should be perfect. So here Allah Ta'ala, Prophet Muhammad says, Fasadidu, fulfill your responsibilities with correct aim. Aim it. Fulfill every responsibility. Here, Prophet Muhammad is not telling that you can be lenient, you can adopt looseness. No. Be perfect, try to be perfect. Try to fulfill every responsibilities in a perfect way. But when we are fulfilling it, it's not necessary that you will be 100% successful. But your aim should be your niyyah. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, what Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala says, and Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala sees is your niyyah. Prophet Muhammad in another hadith says, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّةِ. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala will see your intentions, and every action is rewarded based on the intention. And what will be the net result of every action, that is different. According to your capability, according to your capacity, according to your efficiency, people perform differently. Because Allah Ta'ala has given different kinds of personalities and efficiencies to people. But your aim should be perfect. So the first thing what you have to do is aim perfectly. Fulfill your responsibilities with correct aim. وَقَارِبُوا. Qurb means nearness. Try to reach as near as much as nearest target. Try to reach the nearest target. So fulfill your responsibility in such a way that you will fulfill the nearest target. And this is based on the human psychology and human conditions. Every individual Allah Ta'ala has created differently. Sometimes some mistakes happen. For example, getting up for Fajr prayer. No one can say that I have never made any mistake in getting up for Fajr prayer in time. Sometimes a person is weak, he is tired, and he has a fever, he sleeps. He may not be in a position to wake up for Fajr prayer. He could not hear the adhan, and alarm did not work. Sometimes happens. But aim should be perfect. Like that in so many aspects of your life, your aim should be perfect. And then waqaribu, try to go as nearest area of your target. So this is the condition, this is the way we have to work on. And again Prophet Muhammad says, وَأَبْشِرُوا, accept the glad tidings. Here Allah Ta'ala has given us, and Prophet Muhammad has given us the very beautiful aspect of human life and very beautiful way of following the religion. Aim perfectly, try to fulfill your responsibilities, and if anything happens, any weaknesses happens, any pitfall happens, still it is in an acceptable sphere, which is acceptable. Then accept the glad tidings. Rejoice that you are successful. Then again, continuing, Prophet Muhammad gives a beautiful example. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالْغَدْوَةِ وَالرَّوْحَةِ وَشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الدُّلْجَةِ. Here, usually you can see in Ahadith and Quran, the example is given from the Arab society, because they were the first addressees of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So all the examples are relevant and timely examples are given so that it is passed on to the next generation and everybody understand it. So usually while traveling in Arabian society, people used to start beginning of their travel is early morning, because weather is cool and it's possible for them to travel more and better weather. So they start their journey early morning. Then when it is in the afternoon, sun is hot, so they take rest. They don't travel in the afternoon. Here, for example, in summer season or any other season, people try to work early morning. Then afternoon is a time of rest. Then again, it's a time of travel. You can travel. And some part of the night, even if it is dark, until it becomes very dark, it's possible for you to travel after the sunset also for some time. The same example is mentioned here, that وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالْغَدْوَةِ وَالرَّوْحَةِ وَشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الدُّلْجَةِ. Ghadwa means early morning. Rauha means evening. And a shay min ad-dulja means some part of the night. So like when you are traveling, you take the best advantage of the early morning, then the evening, then in the late night, or some part of the night, not late night. Like that, when you are fulfilling your responsibilities of obligations, adopt the middle path. Adopt the moderate way. Travel in the morning and take best advantage of your morning time, evening time, and some part of the night. So you need not have to put lot of hardship on you. You need not have to travel whole night. You need not have to travel in the afternoon. Whenever the rest is required, take rest and be moderate. This is what is the injunction of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when it comes to giving injunctions, it was not only that he was preaching. Every small or big thing, anything, he gave a practical example how to follow. You can find many practical examples in the life of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about how to follow this religion. And he was correcting everybody and giving the correct message that don't bring extremism to any teachings. For example, when he was giving khutbah, once he saw that one gentleman is standing in sun for a long time. And after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam completed his khutbah, he asked about this person who was standing in sun. They said his name is Abu Israel, he is from Quraysh. And he made 3 pledges. One pledge is that when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is giving khutbah, sermon, I will stand up and listen to it standing. And the second pledge he made is that I will stand in hot sun, not in shade. I will not sit in shade, but stand in hot sun. And the third pledge he made is that he will not talk to anyone. He will totally follow silence so that he will be more devoted to listen to the sermon of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And the fourth pledge he made is that he will fast whole day on the day of sermon. So these were the 4 pledges. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he came to know about it, he said, there is no goodness in it. Let him sit. And not only that, let him sit in shade. Let him not stand in sun. And let him talk to people. There is no goodness in practicing silence. Let him talk to people. And only thing Prophet Muhammad ﷺ endorsed is that if he is fasting, it's already zawal now, it's already, sun is almost not in the zenith. So after some hours, it's the end of the fasting hours. So let him complete his fasting. Also in the fasting, you can see that one cannot prolong his fasting. In fasting, month of Ramadan is coming. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says that it is better that you take suhoor. And it is better that you take suhoor in the last time of suhoor. And one comes to breaking the fast, hurry it up. Do not delay while breaking the fasting. So you can see that there is also moderation. So here Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave a best example to the people and him that let him not do such kind of impractical pledge. Only he endorsed this, let him complete fasting. And after that, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ عَنْ تَعْذِيبِ هَذَا نَفْسَهُ. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala is free from anyone. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala is not in need of anyone giving hardship to himself or giving punishment to himself. So in religion, there is no such thing that you punish yourself, you give hardship to yourself, you get more reward. There is no such thing. Even Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when he heard that a lady was traveling to Hajj by walking was there at that time, not like today's time. Today we have many kind of means of travel today, car and aeroplane and so many other things. But at that time, some people used to walk. In spite of that, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ asked, does she arrange any kind of vehicle for her? People said, yes, she can do that. Then Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, let her take a vehicle or any means of travel or animal or whatever. So, or camel or horse. So what this shows, that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ always asked us to adopt a moderate path in religion. Even today we can see that there sometimes news appears that one man from Pakistan, or one man from Africa, or one man from other part of the world is going to Hajj by cycle, or by walking, or by some other means. If they want to do that, it's permissible to do it as an adventure. Adventure is not a haram in Islam. Adventure is possible. But let them consider it as an adventure, not ibadah. There is no such ibadah that you put hardship on you. So Islam said, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, Allah is not in need of anyone putting hardship on himself. By this, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave us how should we adopt the path of moderation. Another practical incident. There was a gentleman, Sahabi, his name was Abdullah bin Amr ibn al-As. You know, Amr ibn al-As is a great Sahabi. He conquered Egypt and he was a great companion of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He had a son called Abdullah, and he arranged his marriage with a very well-known family of Quraysh, and he arranged a marriage with a girl of well-known family. After some time, Amr ibn al-As wanted to know how the marriage life is going on, and he came to his daughter-in-law and asked, "Kayfa halu Abdullah ma'aki?" How is Abdullah with you? How is everything going on? And this Abdullah, after marriage, he thought that I should not orient myself more towards wife, and I should prove myself that I am a great follower of Deen. That's why soon after marriage, he became more devoted in religion. He used to get up early morning and go to Masjid al-Nabi. He used to get up early before the Fajr prayer and pray Tahajjud. After Tahajjud, he go to Masjid al-Nabawi. And whole day he is busy with various Islamic activities. Then he come home in the night, he have his dinner, sleep. Then next day, same routine, get up early morning for Tahajjud, go to the Masjid al-Nabawi. He totally neglected his wife in the early days of marriage. So she said to father-in-law, "Ni'mal rajulu wa ni'mal abdu li rabbihi." Your son Abdullah is a great man, and he is a very pious and devoted person, and he is a great servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when it comes to me, he is ignoring me, he is neglecting me, and not even sleeping in my bed. She was very practical. And Prophet Amr bin al-As, he was worried. He went to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to complain about his son. See, every aspect, every small aspect of our life, there is deen in it, there is religion in it. That's why Amr bin al-As took this case to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, because it's part of deen. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, after giving a patient hearing, he called, "Bring Abdullah." When Abdullah came, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ asked about his routine. What time he's getting up, how he is fasting, how he is getting up for tahajjud, what kind of prayer and what kind of activities he has. Then Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Walakinni asumu aftar." When it comes to me, I fast someday and I break my fast also someday. Wa anamu wa usalli, and also I sleep sometime and I get up for Fajr, get up for Tahajjud. It's not that whole night I wake up or whole night I'm praying. No, I pray, I sleep. Wa atazawwaju nisa, and I marry. And then he gave a warning. Faman raghiba an sunnati falaysa minni. Whoever is not following my tradition is not amongst me. He is not one among us. So this faman raghi an nikahu sunnati, faman raghiba an sunnati falaysa minni, this is always given a reminder during the time of nikah sermon. Every nikah sermon, khatib or the person who is giving nikah sermon, he will give this statement that nikah is my tradition, and whoever is not following my tradition is not one among me. He is not one among us. So this is a warning by Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that if you are deviating from my path, if you are not adopting moderation, if you are bringing extremism of any kind, then they are not one among us. So it shows that in every small and big aspect how we should follow moderation. Third incident. A gentleman from village came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and he was a new Muslim. He came to Islam first time, and he wanted to know. He was a very straightforward man. Village people are very straightforward, not diplomatic. And city people sometimes are very diplomatic. They know how to, distort according to the conditions. but he was a very straightforward man. He said, "Akhbirni, ماذا فرض الله علي من الصلاة." O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell me what is compulsory for me in prayers, in salat. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that خمس صلوات إلا أن تطوع. 5 prayers a day. Other than that, all your prayers are optional. And then he again asked, ماذا فرض الله علي من الصيام? What is compulsory on me from fasting? He said, Prophet Muhammad said, Siyami shahr Ramadan illa tatawwa. Month of Ramadan, 1 month you have to fast. Other than that, all fastings are optional. You can do it, or if you skip it, it's not compulsory for you. Then he was asking so many things about zakat, about so many things, Prophet Muhammad explaining everything. And he was a very straightforward man. He said, Alladhi akramaka bil haq. And by the Lord, by the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has sent down the great message of truth, La atatawwa wa la anqusu mimma faradallahu alayya shay'an. I'm not going to practice any kind of optional things, but I will not make any harm to what is compulsory on me. I will perfectly follow it. And this was his saying. He was a villager, a straightforward man. For example, if such people come to us, or me, or anybody, what normally we say? We try to focus more on, go extremes people, normally. While giving advices to our children, to our anybody, we sometimes go to extremes. We ask people, are you watching TV? Do you have Facebook account? Are you busy in social media? And you don't have time for any kind of nawafil? How could it be possible? It's haram, it's something. Kufr and shirk is very easy for us to say. And we usually say haram, or kafir, or mushrik, or shirk. It's easy for us to say in our society. But Prophet Muhammad did not do that. He said, Aflaha in sadaqa. If you are telling the truth that you will follow all compulsory things, you are successful. This is the psychological aspect. First, bring people towards compulsory things. If they are following compulsory actions perfectly, then naturally they will follow other things. Don't give them. Prophet Muhammad, whenever he used to send somebody to any place, he used to tell, Yassiru wala tu'assiru. Give the simple message, make it simple. Religion is simple to follow. Make it simple. Do not make it very difficult for you. And Yassiru wala tu'assiru, bashiru wala tunaffiru. There are so many glad tidings. You will attain Jannah, you will be successful. So many glad tidings in Quran. Mention about the glad tidings, make them happy. Do not create hatred in them. How difficult it is to follow. And first thing you introduce is Jahannam. No, that's not the way. First thing a man want to become Muslim, I want to become Muslim. You should not introduce him. First thing what you have to do is go and circumcise yourself or kill your dog. That's not the way. You have to introduce Islam. You have to introduce Islam, the simplest aspect of Islam, how beautifully you can follow Islam. Another fourth example, and before completion of my khutbah. In Masjid al-Nabawi, where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his companions were sitting, a villager came to the Prophet and Masjid. And Masjid al-Nabawi means, don't visualize today's Masjid al-Nabawi, big masjid with carpets, with marbles, and no, that was not the Masjid al-Nabawi. Masjid al-Nabawi means they identified a land, they identified the borders, and it was a plain land, no marbling, no cementing, just a land, just, sand. And that they were praying. Simple masjid. And one gentleman came from village and he was in need of urination. First time he came to the masjid, he didn't know the etiquettes of masjid. He went to the side of the masjid for urination. And he started urinating. And everybody was angry. What he is doing inside the masjid? Prophet Muhammad, when he noticed that his companions are ready to attack him or going towards him, he said, no, stop. Let him complete it. What is complete? Completion is let him urinate completely. Because when a person is sitting for urination and stopping him in between is again a rudeness, again a kind of aggression. So Prophet Muhammad said, stop, let him complete it. And after completion, he said, flush it away, make it clean. and place was clean. Then he called the gentleman, he advised that this masjid is a clean place. And in order to pray, there is a compulsion that your body should be clean and the place you are worshipping should be clean. And this, he was first time, he was a new person, he was not aware of that. So Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam explained to him in a beautiful way. This is how we have to do the reformation activity. Not by giving the fatwa of kufr and shirk, by giving glad tidings to the people, by introducing the simplest aspect of Islam and following moderation in every aspect of our life. Barakallah lana wa lakum wa nafani wa iyyakum bi ayatihi wa dhikril hakim. Innahu ta'ala jawadun kareemun malikun barrun raufur rahim wa rabbun halim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala rasulihil ameen. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi at-tahirin amma ba'd. فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد بعدد من صلى وصام.